Hey guys, today I wanted to walk you through my ATEM Mini Extreme ISO setup. I want to discuss why I chose this one, which is like the top of the range ATEM Mini model. There is literally hours upon hours of footage out there all about the ATEM Mini lineup and all the features that it can do. And it's extremely overwhelming for newcomers to process. There's also a lot of hidden features that are not, I would say, openly advertised because it's not coming from the official Blackmagic products. This is like third-party software. And I only found out about those when I did a lot of digging. And so that's why I'm just giving a overview of how I've set everything up here, and you will find out about some of the things that I'm doing, and then you should go and look into that further to get the full how-to guide on that specific feature. I originally purchased the ATEM Mini Pro ISO model, and after using it for a few days, I realized that, I'm actually running into a few limitations here, and I'm going to need to upgrade to the higher end version in order to get all the features and functionality that I need. When you get to the level of like showing multiple cameras on screen at the same time, that's when you need the ATEM Mini Extreme or Extreme ISO. The major differences here between the ATEM Mini Pro and the ATEM Mini Extreme is that on the Extreme, we get a headphone jack output here. There's an additional microphone jack. Instead of 4 HDMI inputs, we now have 8 HDMI inputs. We get an extra HDMI output. You get an extra USB-C port right here. And basically, I required both the headphone jack, I required additional HDMIs, I required an additional HDMI out. That's really useful too. And also the extra USB-C is useful as well. And well, starting with USB-C, one of them is recording everything to this Samsung SSD right here. And when I say everything, I mean all the camera angles, all the audio channels individually are saved to that. And also it's creating a DaVinci Resolve project file that you can go and edit later. The second USB-C is used here for a webcam on the computer. It's plugged directly into my laptop, and then my computer can detect the Blackmagic program output as a webcam. I just use that as like a backup in case the streaming is not working from this directly. Normally it should just work directly from this Ethernet cable here, which is connecting the device to the local network. Then I've got one HDMI output here going to one of my monitors, and that's where I view the multi-view here. That's what I got on one of my screens. That is actually outputting my #1 camera angle here, and it's going to my laptop into a Elgato Cam Link. And I use that so that when I'm speaking to a guest, say I'm doing an interview, I'm then only showing them my front view here, and they won't be seeing the program output, which could be multiple people on screen or even just them looking at themselves. So it's a better experience for the person I'm speaking to. And then, yeah, these other HDMIs here, the first two, those are physical cameras that I got in this room. The other ones are just like virtual or physical displays coming from my laptop. And so I can show many things on the computer and bring that right into here and mix it into my live feed. And of course, back to this headphone jack here, it's really useful because I can listen to and monitor all the sounds that are coming into this and what's going to the live feed as well. So looking more closely at these HDMI outputs from the computer here, number 3 to 6, I've got number 3 set up as like my main monitor here. So if I've got anything on the computer, like a website that I want to show, I'm putting it on this screen and I can switch to it easily here. Number 4 is a green screen, which lets me show certain elements on the screen. I'll go into that in more detail shortly. Number 5, I normally have that set to a guest that I'm interviewing. So I'll put them full screen on that particular monitor, and then I can just bring in their video as another camera basically. And then number 6 here, I've just got that as an animated background video that is playing on loop in full screen on another monitor. And I'll explain what that's for in a moment too. Now, the ATEM software control, this is pretty useful. Once you come in here, you just basically configure a bunch of things to your needs, and I haven't really had the need to touch this much. Many of these are just the same controls that are available physically here on the device, and I just prefer to use the physical buttons because that's what I frankly bought this for. And so then we've got the media tab. I don't use that because I'm putting my media through the green screen, which is set up differently, and also that camera 6 with the animated video. You can't put animated videos in here. It's only like still images. And so that's why I have just avoided that at this point in time. Now, we've got the audio control page. So I've obviously got my microphone coming in, but you can see there's also levels coming through the camera 2 here that it's detecting. I've got that disabled. It's not my main microphone, but it can be used as backup audio, and you can enable or disable it if you want to. I do have another channel that will have any desktop audio coming through if I'm playing a video, or just the audio from my guests. So when I'm doing that, I can easily switch that on in here. Also on the extreme models, it lets you click this headphones icon here, and basically it will mute all the other tracks and let you just listen to this one specific audio track, and you can isolate it. On the camera page here, if you've got Blackmagic cameras, you can change all the settings for that camera remotely here, which I found really handy for my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema. It lets me do autofocus, which I found the most useful feature here, obviously, because otherwise the camera doesn't have autofocus, and if you're sitting here, you can't really press the autofocus button on the camera, but you can sit here and you can press it in the software. I found that extremely useful in my circumstances. So the first piece of software I want to show you guys, it's called H2R Graphics, and it's developed by John from Here to Record. Go check him out on YouTube. He's got plenty of videos about ATEM and how to take the full advantage of this software in depth. I'm just going to show you how I'm using it. And so on the main menu screen here, it lets you open 2 windows. The rundown window is where you control everything from, and the output window is where it's the green screen window that I showed you just before. And then also we've got data sources here, and I'm just pulling in from my last YouTube live stream here, the chat. And so in the rundown window, this is where we control everything. Let's open that up. Now, I've just got a bunch of things that are already set up here, and basically each time I click one of these options, it's going to appear on the screen, and you'll notice that in the live program, it's actually filtering out that green background now. How I'm doing that, it's through the ATEM software control, and on the main switcher screen here, you come up to palettes, upstream key, chroma, and I've got it set to camera 4, which is where the green screen is full screened. And then you just key out that green color there, tweak these settings, make sure it's not cutting off any important information, only the green. And that's how it does that. But yeah, you can set up a bunch of lower thirds here. This one's set to automatically disappear in 10 seconds. You can have them on there for forever, indefinitely, and then it just disappears when you tell it to go away. And also I've got it showing here comments from the YouTube live stream. And so also it's not going to load all this now because I'm not running an active stream, but basically the whole chat is going to appear here. You can also basically sticky certain comments for later for reference if it's a good comment that you want to come back to. And then this area here will just scroll through them automatically. So this is really awesome software. It's not functionality that's natively available in the Blackmagic control. So I think it's a great addition to complement that, and it makes your life really easy. It also gives you full customization over how things look. So obviously I've just got one particular theme set here, but you can go through and there's like plenty of different options for different styling, or you can, if you want to, put in the time and effort, you can customize it to your full liking, and obviously that's a bit more complicated with all these settings here. So the next piece of software, it's called MixEffect Pro, and this is intended as an iPad app originally, but if you've got like an iPhone or a Mac, you can install it to that. And so I've got it set up here on my MacBook Pro. Basically, it's just the guy has recreated the whole ATEM software control in his own software. It does everything that does, plus more. And there's one specific feature that I specifically got this for, and it's to do with the SuperSource. This is a feature that's only available on ATEM Extreme models. As I mentioned earlier, the ability to basically show multiple camera feeds on the screen simultaneously. You can't do that on the Pro. I needed that, and therefore I had to upgrade to the Extreme. Now, on the ATEM Extreme here, there is only very basic presets for the SuperSource. Basically, you can do a picture-in-picture mode here with just 2 camera outputs side by side. And if you need something more advanced than that, then you have to go into the macros, go configure everything. It can be really complicated, and then you can assign it to one of these 6 macro buttons here. But the one great thing about the MixEffect Pro is that the guy who developed this has basically gone out there, he's created a bunch of macros already for us, and he's presenting it in a very elegant way here where you can visualize all the different layouts and you just basically select which one you want to switch to, and it will do that automatically. So if I hit SuperSource on here and I go to cut, this is how I've got mine set up here, just the basic side by side here. If it's just me and the person that I'm talking to, and then we've got that animated background coming in as well. And so if I wanted to switch to another layout here, I've got this one favorited, and it's just basically zoomed in, punched in on the speakers a bit more, so we are bigger. And also another layout that I was using yesterday is this one here, where it's showing the 2 speakers and also my screen at the same time. And so you just click between these and it swaps between that, and it even has a bit of a animation between those swapping. You don't get that generally with the macros that you set up manually, I don't believe. So this just makes it far more elegant and far more convenient to set up. And so heading back into the settings here, basically, even though these are a bunch of SuperSource presets, you can come in and it has full customization over these. So for example, it's showing the box number 1 here. I've got that set to camera 3. You can choose which camera you want to change that to. And basically you can just go into all of these and configure everything. You can configure the positions, and also you can highlight certain boxes as well. If you click on this, it'll make that one slightly bigger. You know, there's plenty of options. The art page here, this is how I'm putting in that animated background. So I've just set the fill source here to a camera. That's number 6 with the animated video. It can still go to like a static image on your media player and things like that. But if you want an animated background, this is how it's done. And yeah, so this software costs like $50 US, I believe. The other H2R Here to Record one is similarly priced. It takes out hours and hours and hours worth of work. And so if you don't want to put in that work, paying that fee it's nothing. It saves you a bunch of time and money. And I think it's worth it in my opinion. And it just truly enhances the overall experience in using this far beyond what you get with the standard software. And so if you want to find out more information about some of the things that I showed you today, just go and YouTube it. And also I found these other 2 guys very useful when it comes to ATEM mini videos. And that's Aaron Parecki and also Photo Joseph. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Hope you have a better understanding of what is possible with these little devices here. and maybe you now know that you need to get the Extreme over the Pro. And also you got some insights into some of the hidden functionality and features that are available with this that really makes your workflow in live streaming or just live production much, much easier. So give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.